What is up? Hello. Welcome to, I think this is part 4, learning Scrypto. So, I'm just going to share the broadcast real quick for anybody who wishes to watch it. What is up? And we'll be good to go. Yeah, so today we are going to be tackling first and foremost how you write tests for your Scrypto code, for your Scrypto components, and how you read data from the blockchain, from the ledger. It's not a blockchain, from the ledger. All right. Okay. All right. So let us begin. This time, I'm going to actually change it from my face to my development. So first and foremost, I'm going to hop over to the Scrypto GitHub because what I need to do is learn how. That's not it. That's community Scrypto examples or just Scrypto examples. We'll go with Scrypto examples. Let's see. We got the full stack dApp toolkit gumball machine. We got our Scrypto. We got our client. Client is okay. Client is a website. And we have this. So what is an RTM file? My guess is that this is how you run tests. See, I don't know what RTM means. But it's gotta mean something. Maybe it's a Rust. Maybe it's a Rust-based thing. How do you test Rust? Better question. What is an RTM file? Runtime models. I don't know if that's right. Is a Rust RTM file? Okay, maybe it is. Rust type mapper. Is that what that would be? A Rust type mapper? Okay. Compile down to WASM. Yep, WebAssembly. I think that makes total sense. This whole flow makes sense. Oh. Testing. When creating a new account through okay. Pretty sure on Scrypto like 0.9 right now. So I don't know, I think it's been a while since this has been updated, but It's probably still up to date. How do you... Oh, this is migrating. That's not what I want. The test folder. Different from the source folder, you don't have to provide a lib.rs file, you can have multiple. Turn all the tests, run Scrypto test. Okay. So if we go and look at you, I don't see a test folder. But I mean, there's still all those RTM files. Is there an example that has test files? Nope, I guess is that that's not the case. I'm just gonna have to figure out how to use these RTM files. Okay, so let's go take a look at examples. Do you have any test.sh? What do you do? I guess they do run Scrypto test path. Odd. You pass in the directory name, you cd into that, I cd into core DeFi NFT. They find type with name. I don't know Bash well enough to know what this does. We are gonna do this. GPT. Bandwidth is being taken up by the stream. So this might be a little bit slow. Maybe I should have done GPT 3.5. That might have been faster. But one. And a subshell with the working directory changed to the NFT directory. Okay. The change of directory only affects the commands inside the parentheses and does not affect the parent shell. Cool. Alright. This command is used to search for items within the current directory. Yeah, I got that from that period. Just that find only looks in the current directory and doesn't look in any subdirectories. Okay. Makes sense. Let's find look only for directories. Shows that the current directory is not included in the results. Okay, so we're excluding our root directory. So find print the resulting file names followed by a null character, spaces or other special characters, and then we pipe that into, it takes the output from the find command and pipes, it into xargs to treat the input as null separated instead of the default, which is new line separated. Nice and slow, but this is a good explanation. To use the one item from the input at a time. I should find the placeholder that will be replaced by the input item. Then one runs for each directory found by the okay. So the Scrypto test is getting all of the paths that exist Okay, so this is actually pretty dang good. So we're going into the NFT folder. And then we're looking through all of the folders inside of, oh, yeah. Oh, that one had it. That one has tests. None of the others do. Okay. Then we're feeding those folders into the Scrypto test. So we get Magic Card, we get FT Marketplace, we get Sporting Event, and then it calls Scrypto test on each of these individual folders. And I guess for the ones that don't have tests, then it doesn't run them. Okay, so this is kind of more what I expected. But what are these RTM files, I feel like they have something to do with the test that I'm just unaware of. Okay, so, I don't know what the proper way to do this is. Perhaps we can test something. Okay. So I'm going to update my Rust installation. It didn't work. I thought that would upgrade my Rust installation, not my Rust, my Scrypto installation, but it didn't. So I can do Rust up update stable. Maybe we'll do that first. Okay. That's why it doesn't work. Okay, I'm reading this, and I'm updating Rust, like it said. Then I'm gonna cd into the Radix DLT Scrypto directory that was created when I installed the toolchain. So I don't remember how I installed the toolchain. I do have the Rust compiler though. I did see this while it was installing, so I think we're okay there. So I need to pull down Radix DLT Scrypto, and I need to make those changes. So first and foremost, it's like, do I even have that? Do I have Mr. Scrypto? So we have the community Scrypto examples. So I have Radix DLT Scrypto there. Alright, so we got Radix DLT Scrypto. Now we can run this command. Well, wait, actually I need to... Yeah, my simulator's on 0.7, but they're at like 0.9. I need to pull. That is fetching. I don't want to mess anything up. We're gonna wait. Go, go, little progress bar, go, go. Okay, so that should update all of my stuff to be correct, I guess. Tests. Yes, this guy's got RTM as well. How does that work? National and RTM. Yes, he's got the call methods. That's interesting. I wonder if this RTM is basically like a transaction manifest that you're executing. That would make the most sense to me. How do I learn about them? I'm not sure. I don't know where to learn about. Run MJS. So this guy's using JavaScript to execute things. So these are basically his tests. Resim run, that's good. This is good to know. Resim run RTM flash loan. So that's my command. I'm gonna copy that. I want that command. We are taking notes. Taking notes. Taking notes. And this is taking forever to download because I am streaming on the YouTubes. It's taking its time. So I'm going to assume that RTM is something to do with Rust. Maybe it's a Scrypto related thing. Oh yeah, it totally is, because my computer gave it this nice little Scrypto icon. So it must be a Scrypto related thing. What does it stand for? I'm not sure. Guess we might be able to look it up. RTM. Tell me your secrets. Radix. Tabletop. Transaction manifest. What's the R for then? Running transaction manifest? So it is a transaction manifest. Yes, let's go. Resim transaction manifest file. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. So I can just have it output the manifest for me. And then I can run the file name. Awesome. I'm gonna copy this link as well. This has been helpful. Okay. So I mean, it makes sense that just having an RTM file just makes it super, super nice. Like just a transaction manifest that I can run through and test to make sure that all of my different components are working. Like that's what I want. Definitely 100% what I want, what I need. Also good to know that I don't have to write it myself. I don't know. There's something else, like, so I can deploy the blueprint, probably locally, hopefully. I can make a component out of it. And then I can manually run through my test, I guess? I'm not sure. That doesn't sound super nice. Oh, there's a process here. There's a process here that I'm unaware of at the moment. Oh good, we're building now. Okay, maybe it installed everything for me when it fetched. So we are compiling things. This might take a little while, I guess. Longer than I thought. But I guess Radix has been cruising on stuff. Alright, let's try and understand this, guys. Is there a better person? Is there a better crowdsourcing? go. Now it's cruising. Okay, so this is good. This is more of what I expected, I'll be honest. Man, these guys are impressive. Doing all these different bash commands. I've seen awk, no idea what it does. This guy's got an init, an sh, that creates new accounts. Publishes things. Then he runs instantiate. Okay, so he creates a new component. Then he deposits batch, whatever that means. And then he does things, he prints out all the different things. Oh, I am not good enough with bash either. I have a lot to learn. We're already 25 minutes in, gosh dang. Okay, so I'm tired. My brain's a little fuzzy, I'll be honest. After this, I will be eating because my body needs food. But for the next 25 minutes, I will focus. I need to be present. I need to understand what this does, what this means, because this is just the testing bit. Maybe I have overestimated the difficulty of the tests. Okay. All right. So he's saying that you can change the token type. And so he's got resource address XRD. He's got the rate. Makes sense. He's got the tax. He's got the name. He's got the resource address for XRD. Does he export that somewhere up here then? Or is that just something that exists? No, he's passing it as a variable, so okay. Well, I assume he's passing it as a variable. I guess I'm not 100% sure. So I guess, I mean, that's what it looks like to me. The rest are variables. This one is likely to be a variable. So he is creating a package, the real estate service, which is his component here. Boom. His blueprint. Making a new object from his blueprint with the given name. What does that mean? I don't know. What is the name? Neverland. Okay, so I guess each one of these represents a plot of land. Alright. Okay, so these are the inputs to the implementation. New, name, tax, rate, medium token. Yes, okay. So that makes sense. Then we call method with all resources. Component address, admin account, deposit batch. Is that up here? No. Be somewhere else. Nope. What do I hear? Okay, I don't know what that means. I guess it means you're... Yeah, I don't know where the admin account is coming from. Maybe... No, I do. Admin account. Boom, right there. That he just made. It's calling the deposit batch function. Do I know what that means? I do not. Maybe it's a system function. I don't know, but we still have the tests. So we can test authorize. And he uses the transaction manifest authorized to do that. And I'm curious if he's the one who wrote these himself. Obviously he wrote this instantiate one, but did he write the others? Possibly, because he did not put them with, they don't have an RTM file. So it looks like the common practice is to have an RTM file that performs your actions. You're basically just having a different manifest that will test the different functionalities of your code. And then you run those RTM files using a shell file. So using a shell file as well, you can prepare the environment, and then you can run your output. Alright, so that makes sense to me. I don't follow all of the different bash that's here. So I guess basically in order for me to become a master of the tests with this, is I'm going to need to master bash. Second option, I could make a Python library that would test things for me, that I could just use to set up my environment, run my transaction manifest. So perhaps that is the approach that I take. I think I would prefer that. I'm not super inclined to learn all of the bash. Well, obviously I'm going to need to learn bash if I make a Python library that does it for me. So maybe it doesn't really matter all that much. Institute in a marketplace. Oh, so he makes a marketplace for... Man, he just makes another marketplace? This real estate manager is crazy. Dang, that's so cool. That is so fetching cool. I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, so what is next? I feel like I've gained a comprehension of how I run tests with Scrypto. I'll just write down real quick what I just talked about. Running tests. The process is one. The biggest hole in the process is still how you make those RTM files. Do I write those myself? Do I do something? Do I run them through bash and then write it myself? So, alright, so number one, running tests. Number one, write a bash file that will run your tests and export them to an RTM file. Create a bash file that it's lagging. That will, sorry, you can't see this. I don't want to put my notes on the main screen. Okay, so create a bash file that will run, will set up the environment and run the RTM files. I'm going to change this step 1. Create RTM files that test your component. This can be done with a bash file. Let's see, somewhere here. Running commands with resim. Resim is actually is this using resim? Yeah, I need to scroll. Yep, resim call method. Okay. I need to learn that. Let's copy. There we go. Now I know how to output with a resim call method command. Okay. So we know what transaction manifest files are. Okay, so we know how to test things. And we test things with, well, I guess in the context here, the tests is lib.rs. So I'm curious if that's still how we test things. Maybe the creating a transaction manifest file is how you like actually publish it on the like testnet, and then these tests and like run tests on testnet, and then these are how you would test things. So I'm going to assume that on testnet. I will admit there isn't a great deal of information on this so far. I'm trying to see when these would each come into play, but I'm not 100% sure when they would come into play. So here we are. Create locally. Create a tests folder. Create a lib.rs file that will execute your tests. Run Scrypto test on that folder. Right? These guys, what they're doing is they're running Scrypto test on Magic Card, so we want to run Scrypto test on the root folder. You know what? Let's try and run some fetch and tests. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to try and do it. So my goal, run some tests. No more theory. So all these guys, they've got source and cargo. So I need source. Tests. I'm gonna copy their cargo. Fixed price sale with royalty. Yep, I like that. Fixed. What did real estate manager call his stuff? Real estate manager. Okay. Just dashes. Fixed price sale with royalty. Boom. Version. I see down here Radix 0.7, so I'm gonna do 0.7. Edition 2023. I don't know. We'll stick with that. We'll do 0.7 here. Oh, actually, this is, I guess this is a version of my file. Edition? I don't know what edition is meant to be. I'll be honest. I'll hop up to 0.7 on each of these. Oh, is it still building? It is. Whoa. That is taking its sweet, sweet time. Okay. I haven't had something take that long to compile in a while. Interesting. Looks like S4 is at 0.7. So I'm going to up that to 0.7 as well. If it's still taking its time updating, I am not 100% sure that I'll be able to run my tests. So I'll just put some things together and then we'll try it out, right? Okay, so we're gonna move our fixed price dealio in there. Obviously, I need a lib.rs. Lib. This guy has a lib that adds all of his stuff together, and I might be tempted to do that. Alright, so first things first, NFTs cannot contain a vault. I learned that last week. Why should you stack Radix with your KDA? That's a good question. So I admire KDA because they're proof of work, and I would say Cadena and Nexa are the two proof of work blockchains that are legit and are actually managing some level of additional scaling. I would say that Cadena struggles to do it for layer 2 stuff. So it's hard for a layer 2 to scale on top of the layer 1. But they're still doing it. Nexa, I'm curious to see how they leverage UTXO based things to do smart contracts. They haven't released any of that yet, but being proof of work and kind of an extension of the Bitcoin team, I'm excited to see where they go with that. Radix is proof of stake, but they have the most novel approach to sharded state, sharded, I think it's called work as well. So you can basically, they are no longer a blockchain, and they handle transactions on a per transaction basis, and they validate transactions instead of blocks. What that allows them to do is basically say, okay, does your transaction, like let's say I'm sending XRD to Bob, and Alice is sending XRD to Stuart. It's like those two transactions have nothing to do with each other. And so they're able to, like, because it's only validating transactions and not trying to shove the transactions into an ordered block, what they can do is they can be like, okay, do those transactions overlap? Are they colliding in any way? And if they aren't, we can push them through in parallel. So this is effectively what your graphics card is doing when you're running video games, is running thousands of operations in parallel. And it's able to do that because it has a very clear understanding of, do these operations collide? Is the data that I'm working with overlapping here? And if they are, then we need to order them. But if they aren't, I just run them both. I don't care. So that's what Radix has done, is they've built a system that enables massive parallelization of transactions, because they're no longer focused on blocks, they're focused on transactions. So that makes it really, really cool. And like their approach to how you actually write code and build things is also incredibly novel, because you don't always need to submit a new smart contract to make something work. They've actually separated smart contracts from what they call, or they've created blueprints and components. So it's like object-oriented programming on a distributed ledger. And I'm like, dude, sold. Like, no more code. Like, I'm able to reuse other people's components to build my own stuff. And I think that's amazing. I think that's incredible. That doesn't exist anywhere else that I've seen. Everywhere else, I always have to submit my own smart contract. I can't take a blueprint, an existing smart contract, and create an instance of it. It's like, imagine if every single Ethereum token was just an instance of the smart contract that made Ethereum tokens possible. It would make stuff way easier, way simpler. Instead, every person is submitting basically the exact same code with a few minor tweaks. It's like, we don't need to do that on Scrypto or on Radix, because everything is a blueprint. And I can just create a new instance of my blueprint and pass in the specific parameters that I need to create my kind of blueprint. So there's a lot of power in that, and it makes the code insanely reusable. So I'm able to build things really, really fast, because I can leverage a blueprint library, create instances that I need, link them all together in the way that I need, and I'm good to go. So you have heavy composability at the end of the day. That's probably a lot more than you were wanting. But that's why you should stack your Radix with your KDA. This is not financial advice. I don't actually own any Radix. I just like technology and I enjoy building things. So, yeah, I haven't bought any Radix. So, not financial advice. Okay, so back to this. And I see that while I was talking, this worked. And also, Sean, yes, I can't wait to give you a game that you can play with your dad bots. I am excited for that. Okay, so we got our fixed price sale, NFT vaults, payment vault. Okay. The royalty. I actually still need this. I don't need... No, I still need the royalty, but I just can't use this inside of an NFT. I can't store this data inside of an NFT. They told me that the system would get angry, and that is fine. I am okay with that. So, what I need to do is I just need to set up tests for this then, I guess. Something to instantiate my datas. I'll just copy you, and I will create librs. I'll paste it in here, and we will see what happens. Test runner builder build. Ha. New allocated account. Okay. Publish package. This package. Okay. This is testing magic card. I want to test fixed token sale with royalty. Okay. I don't know if this is still the proper way to test. I really don't. I mean, these guys just have RTM files, so maybe it's not. I don't know. Do any of these guys have test files? Or did I find the one, like literally the only one that has a test file? Tests. There we go. Okay, that's promising. Oh, maybe this isn't how you do it. Okay, this is a question I'm gonna need to ask. Okay, it's because I don't know how to run tests. And the docs, I mean... Let's just check again for tests. Because we have this test folder. Hold on, there was another thing in there. Writing tests. Some change to a simpler, more convenient way of writing tests. Dependencies introduced in 0.5. Okay, so from 0.4 to 0.5, they added this test runner. Okay. Okay. The import macro has had some slight changes made to it with the release. Okay, don't really care about changes. Vsim export ABI, that looks important. We'll write it down. Okay. And it is 7 p.m., so I think this is the end. But, I mean, I feel like I made it pretty far. I'm going to assume that this is correct, given that Scrypto 0.5 actually has like an example doing this. So I'm going to assume that the way that I decided to write my tests is actually going to work. And that should be good. Okay. So if you joined me, thank you so fetching much. It's been a pleasure having you, Sean. I really appreciate you hopping in, asking me why you should stack your Radix. Again, not financial advice. And yeah, just some news. I fully plan on migrating DadBod over to Radix and using Radix as the foundation for all the NFTs. I don't know at what point I plan on doing that, but that is the current plan. Truly, I want to make a game that works before I want to add in NFTs. So that's kind of been my conclusion. I'm going to build this game first before I have to worry about anything else. So I can give you a quick update on the game itself. Just give you some nice gameplay. So we've got DadBod. And we're going to go back in. Let's see if that works. Nope. There we go. There we cheating. Whoa. Dang it. Okay. This should work. Alright, so all these little hats laying around, those are experience markers actually. So I can move around, I can suck them up. And then we have wasps, and I need a weapon. So first question is, what does the following code do? Print dad bods are great. So this is our code. So we can look through our answers. We can states that dad bods are great. Prints the text, dad bods are great to the console. Prints a piece of paper with dad bods are great. Causes a dad bod to burst into the room and ninja chop you in the throat with how great he is. So, you know, honestly, all of these are great answers, but the correct answer is this one. So now I have a staple gun, actually, that I am shooting at these wasps to keep them away and slay them and take their experience. So I can pick up another one of these, and if I answer the question right again, it'll increase my attack speed. So we got that. I can keep increasing my attack speed. Okay, so now we have a different question, and this question is a coding question, which means I have to actually type in the fetching code. So it's like complete the say hello function so it returns what the fetch is up name. Alright? So we're gonna do it. We're gonna say what the fetch. Oh dang it, that's a bug I gotta fix. Okay. Yeah, right now I have an issue where if I press on any of the letters, it'll act like X, Y, Z or anything like that. It'll act like I pressed it for the multiple choice. So I gotta fix that. That's annoying because I can press X right now and it'll tell me I got it correct. Okay, so I can't really show you the greatness that was that, but basically you can type in code and you can do cool things. So let's see if I can get another one with the code. Give me some code. Okay, so I can test this and it'll actually give me the output. It'll run this Python code and it'll give me the output of that Python code. Like, let's go. Woo! So every single time you pick up one of these chests, the UI isn't complete, but it'll give you 3 items that you can choose from. You'll choose one of them, and then it'll ask you this question, right? And your wife is on the phone. She's asking you the question. And if you get it right, right now I'm thinking it'll give you 2 of those same items instead of just 1. And maybe like have it set up so that you can randomize one of the items by answering a question. So basically, like, just answer these questions, you can increase the value of your loot box. So that's the premise, and I want you in here writing actual code if I can make that happen. Obviously there's multiple choice. I'm thinking tying in AI will make this insanely cool, like just so cool, because like the AI can drive a personalized test, if you will, can create personalized questions for you based on what you want and what you need. AI can also make this really awesome, so if I want you speaking, and maybe you want to practice like Spanish or Japanese or Korean or just a different language, I can test your language skills every single time you pick up a loot box. And depending on how good you do, like if you can answer the question speaking to it, you can get, like, it increases the value of the loot box. So the game itself, right, this whole entire game, it's like none of it is based around like, I mean, how good are you at answering those questions? It's like I can just run around and it has nothing to do with being able to answer the questions. Nothing whatsoever. But the questions are just there, and people can choose their own question sets to amplify the value of their loot box and just move forward faster in the game. And so I'm hoping to really create very engaging mini games that make you want to answer these questions. And so the moment you get into like a tournament category where it's like, let's say you have 25 questions and like everyone is competing with the same question set, and your ability to answer those questions really, really fast is going to dictate how quickly or how well you do in the tournament. And so you can make the questions really hard, really, really hard. And so maybe, I mean, there's lots of tournaments on like programming that people do to solve incredibly difficult programming problems. I can do the exact same thing here, but just in a game-like fashion. So I'm really passionate about this. I honestly think that this is going to be super, super cool. That this is just that it's an opportunity for people to learn while they play, and without, I mean, you can make it easier or harder. Choose the different question sets that matter to you. I don't care what the questions are. I actually plan on letting people build their own question sets and kind of share them with other people. When I say question set, I mean just a series of questions that are randomly chosen when you pick up a loot box. And so I want people to be able to build their own question sets, share them with friends, do all of that. I just think it'll be fun. So there we have it. That is a progress update on DadBob. So have an absolutely wonderful Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you stayed all the way to this point, you watched me learn about Radix and how that works and all that good stuff. I learned about testing Scrypto components. All your kids are getting into IT. Okay, yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, if they want to learn more about IT, I think this is a great opportunity. You can ask questions about anything. The programming side of things, the fact that they can actually run code and get the output of that in real time, I think is just amazing. It's like from a Cadena standpoint, you can also do that with Pact because it's interpreted. So I can run their Pact code, and I can test people on Pact. So there's a lot of cool things that you have with interpreted languages and some compiled languages. Search 15. Is that how old your children are? And if you say certs, I assume you mean like you can get a certification. And heck yeah, hands down, 100%. You could easily, I plan on setting up mini games that force you to go through each question in the question set. Yeah, so I plan on setting up mini games that force people to go through each question in the question set. So let's say you have a 25 question test. You want the kid to take the test, and you want to grade them on that test. The game itself, the mini game itself, would be designed and essentially force them through each question in the question set, all the way through the 25. Maybe the final boss is like, the last question, you get it right, and you win, right? And so you have different, that is 100% a possibility. You can definitely walk people through a test and give them a test using this game. Just have them play the game. Be like, how'd you do? Oh, I got a 75%. Well, there you go. You got a C in your class. That's pretty dang good. They didn't even realize that they were doing that well. So my goal is to make it so that the learning is not the focal point. And I think if I do it right, it'll be super cool. Yeah, certifications, cloud, networking. Oh yeah, dude, I can teach all that. All that with this. Be fetching dope. It's gonna be awesome. But again, have a wonderful day. Time for me to be with the family. So enjoy your Thursday, enjoy your weekend. See you guys later.